Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new series we're doing here. This is Vic Asmadi playing Wizardry 8. We're going to be doing a solo bishop. I did the solo rogue, just finished that recently. I've done a kind of a mixed hybrid solo before. This one's going to be pure bishop, no class change, nothing fancy. The only thing we are going to do a little differently is to start as a fighter just to get his equipment and then dismiss immediately. So, righto. We will have a party of one. Now, the bishop setup is kind of interesting, right? Actually, with all solos, you kind of want to have the conversation around how you want to build it. For bishop, we're going to do a human. Just better stats. We're going to be developing pretty much almost everything. Female, just because occasionally we'll need some stamina boost, and they do get the necklaces if we need them. For stats, we're going intelligence and dexterity. We are going to pass on vitality, similar to what we did with the rogue. I kind of crunched the numbers, and basically by the time we would get to another 50-some points into vitality. That's 12-ish levels or so. Well, actually, no, 14-ish. So it's a lot, and there's just points that really need to go elsewhere. Again, we don't have to take a human, but we could start with higher vitality if we wanted to. But it's just developmental points that we'd rather put elsewhere, and especially with the bishop, where intelligence and piety are going to matter, and especially when you've got a solo that's going to have to do a lot of melee. Strength and dexterity are going to matter. So we're going to go intelligence, dexterity, and strength. I think I figured out that by the time you get to 100%, 100 attributes on vitality, you basically have a roughly 40% increase in hit points. And I'm going to think that the bishop can do enough for survivability. Early game's a little tough, but again, you're not getting that much of a boost. You're getting maybe a couple scraps of hit points at the lower levels. So by the time it finally matters to have more vitality, the bishop doesn't need it. So with that thinking, we're going dexterity, strength, and intelligence. So yeah, I think I figured it's about 40% more hit points, and then it's a question of what's the value of iron skin, and we could get maybe 20-30% damage reduction, but again, we've got stuff like Body of Stone and Superman and all sorts of things at our disposal that I don't think the iron skin's worth playing for either. So with that, we're doing a solo with 45 vitality, and we're going to get started here. Alright, so other picks, other choices to make. Energy Blast and Heal. At our next level up, we will take Mind Stab. Alright, so for stats, we're going to kind of follow Wizardry and Psionics don't compete too much. We're going to keep those as our top two, basically until Alchemy comes roaring ahead with its capabilities from potion mixing. So we'll struggle a bit to get up to Alchemy 40, but after that it should go pretty well. We're going to take some Fire Magic just so our Energy Blast doesn't totally go off in our face, and then a little bit of Close Combat, and a little bit of Staff and Wand. Ideally, we're going to want to try to find a mace in the monastery. At worst, we can buy one from Burrs, although it is possible some of the slimes will drop one. So I don't plan on putting too much into Staff and Wand. Maybe it'll get up to like 8 or 10 points at the beginning until we can actually get a mace. And that's the thinking there. The idea being that we want to be able to have a weapon and a shield. And right now, starting off with the staff, it's a two-handed staff, and it's just it's just difficult. It's a low damage weapon, and it doesn't let you hold a shield. So we are going to do close combat, staff and wand, again hoping for a mace. We'll see how that goes. All right, we got Human Vic. One of the nicer voices, I'd imagine. I don't know why that doesn't play. Alright. Replace, yes. Done, yes. Okay, so that gives us the shield, and again, since we've got the staff, the quarterstaff, that this has to be an offhand shield. I'm going to be swapping this so that we're very intentional about when we have our shield up and where we have our melee bashing. So turning the lock on there. Because we had the fighter, we do get the leather cuirass, which is a +5 to start versus a +2, and we get the mitra as well for 2 AC on the head. We get better pants, and we're ready. Carry her some goodies. Let's open our chest.
Now, don't you fret. We are a bit lost, but think of it.
Feathered hat's okay. Feathered hat's also +2. Darts are alright. I can't use that. So, not a great thing. It's possible to get some really good stuff here in this chest, including the elemental potion, the canned elemental, which lets you basically take on Gregor. We're probably not going to be taking on Gregor. We're probably going to try to dodge him to begin. I don't know what that is. That could be a renewal. The other thing that you can look for here is there's the +7, the studded. Is it the leather hardback or the studded one? I think it's the leather one that's +7. I mean, you can get all sorts of good stuff. You can get an amulet of static here, but we're not going to RNG farm. We're not going to RNG farm chests at all in this game. One of the things I learned from doing the solo rogue is that the crabs are so much tougher than everything else that you've got at level 1 here. So normally I'd be starting with the crabs, but I'm going to actually try to get some work done inside the monastery.
I just got a shiver all through my body. Something's not right.
Something's not right, but the goal here is to get to level 2 as quickly as possible, and then we can probably take on the crabs. But they just hit too hard at level 1 to really even be, kind of worth trying. Alright, so a lot of hit and run here in the beginning.
With pleasure.
We've still only got an orange level energy blast.
With pleasure. Stay with me. With pleasure.
And we didn't get our ambush attack off, so that's too bad. Might be able to kill a small guy. Nope, they actually all look pretty big, don't they?
Pleasure.
That's too bad.
Wee-poo.
And we get clocked anyway. Backfire time. Okay, well, we're running. Not a great start.
With pleasure.
We'll try not to totally pull the crabs around with us too as we do this. But yeah, we're going to basically run right through the crabs. Although they're yellow, I don't know if they'll I don't know if they will engage us right here at the start, or if they will.
With pleasure.
If they stay yellow, they flee. Oh, where are you going? No. Retreat the other way. If they turn red, they chase us, and we're already at half of our stamina, and we've done nothing but had a failed spell. See if our heal works.
With pleasure.
We're going to have a lot of training type activities like that. Yep. The beginning here is going to be slow. We know that we've got to grind up some abilities here, and it's going to be hit and run. It's going to be difficult.
I see something moving.
Yep, let's get our crabs coming here and whip them around.
With pleasure.
I went a little too far.
With pleasure.
Let's get rear formation to run.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
This will be our life for a couple hours, probably.
With pleasure.
Take every chance for every little grind of spellcasting.
Damn.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Being at 4 doesn't matter. Rocks. Yay, rocks. Get the artifacts up. That'll let us identify at least the Book of Bless. Got a couple strats for how I want to deal with Gregor and the monastery. We'll see how it works out. I think for the most part we can dodge Gregor. We can dodge King Crab. Get to the upper monastery.
Thank you so very much.
And probably even try to sprint back down to the lower monastery and get at least one shop in at Burr's after coming there. The idea being that we can get the Divine Trap book identified by selling it to Burr's and buying it back, and then we've got a little bit of work we can do on the chests for our psionics at that time. That should have our mind stab up to something useful, and we'll probably have decent energy blast by that time too. But we'll see. This is a kind of a rough sketch of a game plan. I haven't played it through extensively, and we'll see what we get. Did I lose my crabs? Oh, they're there. Alright, we are not going to fight crabs to start. We are going to focus on the slimes in the monastery.
With pleasure.
Might be able to get around here.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
These guys are a little bit bigger than I'd like them to be.
Blocked. With pleasure. Creepoo.
Ay, 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 ay. Like a little bit of mercy on the casting here.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Okay.
With pleasure.
Switch to defense.
With pleasure. Hey!
Okay.
With pleasure.
On the bright side, I haven't died yet, but I haven't even done a point of damage, so what are you gonna do?
With pleasure. Spotted a wild one. With pleasure.
if I can sleep here. I think I can. Let's see if we can just go
With
back
pleasure.
inside the door.
I see something moving.
No, we can't. All right.
I just got a shiver all through my body.
Yeah. Hey, first successful spell. Really making progress now. Okay, the slimes are right by the door still.
I see something moving.
Okay, crabs are back to yellow. Slime's coming out.
Stay with me. This could get messy.
No, I want to ambush them.
With pleasure.
We'll draw them out. Prefer to be dealing with them inside, but outside's okay too.
With pleasure.
Actually, getting them tired isn't bad either. I have no idea what their stamina is.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
All the way over there, huh? Aye, aye, aye. Alright. We probably get 2 shots before they come right up to me. That guy looks pretty small.
With pleasure. Creepoo.
No love on the casting.
With pleasure. Creepoo. Sorry. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Okay. This will be slow. We know this will be slow.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Fizzles again. A lot of fizzle.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Hey, damage. Oh, finally some
pleasure.
damage. Love it.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Fire magic level up. See? This is how it's done. Up to 4. Right? We're like almost there.
With pleasure. Spotted a wild one.
What? Oh, wait, there?
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Ay, ay, ay.
Clee-poo. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
There are going to be times when I basically have to get like consecutive hits, and I might actually just start doing that at this point. Like if the first blast fails, just reload at that point. So far we haven't reloaded. But, I mean, that's pretty much what we're going to have to do here.
With pleasure. With pleasure. Spotted a wild one. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Oh, I did aggro them. Ha, funny.
With pleasure. Volapoo.
Okay, I'm going to stick around for a second blast here.
With pleasure.
Oh, that was already... Did I not sleep? Alright, I don't have a second blast. That's too bad. A 6 was a pretty good hit.
With pleasure. I see something moving. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
But all three of those slimes look pretty beefy. I don't know if there's maybe 8 hit points as the lowest on them. I don't know. I was hoping for like, kind of the little 2s and 3s guys, but no such luck. They're coming toward me. I gotta go this way.
With pleasure. Stay with me. This could get messy.
That did not work. I think I can go on either side of this rock, though.
With pleasure. With pleasure. Volapooch.
Okay.
With pleasure. Volapooch.
Okay, well, I got 5 damage.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
I've got another point of recovery. If I could remember which one I did 5 damage on, and if my heal had succeeded, I might have gone back for another shot. I don't think I can get in yet here, can I? The crab's too close. I can get in.
With pleasure.
Oh, it won't close while I'm... Okay. Let's see if we can find anything else we can kill that's doable. Maybe some bats. If we get roaches, we've got problems. I don't want to pull too many things outside.
With pleasure.
But the hardest part of this right now is just getting to level 2. Bat. Okay.
With pleasure.
Actually, not yet.
With With
Just one?
With pleasure. Volap. Volap.
Another one. Okay. We're out of blasts, right? Yep.
With pleasure. With pleasure. We did it!
Yeah, we did. First kill. Wizardry upgrade too. Right, that was our first kill, right? Yep, 201 experience now. Wow. Now now it really starts to happen, right?
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Make sure there's nothing this way too. Stamina is so low at this point too.
With pleasure.
That's the slime room. We're not going that way. Alright. But there's nothing coming out at us either. Oh, something.
I see something moving.
Slime.
With pleasure.
Okay.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Too far? Too far.
With pleasure.
That'll probably work.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Ooh, 7 is just so nice.
Volapoo! We did it!
Now the best thing would be happen is if he dropped a mace, but we'll take whatever he gave us. Yeah, I'm love to get a mace at this point. Still have 5 points of fire. Go down a little more. So, well, not even a third of the way there, but barely. Be so happy just to get to level 2 right now. The spell points are a huge uptick.
With pleasure.
Probably actually put some into close combat at this point too, just so I could have a little more confidence in standing and taking
With
a hit
pleasure.
or two. The shield stuff will rise on its own, but it's not.
With pleasure.
It's by no means perfect at this point.
Spotted a wild one.
A 1 and a 2. That 2 could shoot. That's part of a problem. The one, hey, we're up to yellow.
With
Awesome. The one I feel good about, the two, not so much. Oh, really?
With pleasure.
I couldn't target him, but now I can. Strange.
With pleasure. Volapoo. With pleasure. Volapoo.
Pretty weak.
With pleasure.
And we run.
With pleasure.
Oh, he went the other way? Okay, fine.
With pleasure. They're all over me.
There's that bat from before. The other slime must have gone around and picked him up. It's okay.
I see something moving.
We want to get all these guys.
With
This is fine.
pleasure.
Problem is not knowing how many hit points are on the level 2 slime.
With pleasure.
Need a few more encounters. I don't even think we've got Mythology of 1 at this point, do we? Oh, we do have Mythology 1. It'll still be a while before we get any useful information.
They're all over. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. Time for bed.
Be nice to go get the Book of Stamina too, just for training. I do want to keep my psionics above my alchemy at this point, so I can't do too much stamina work until my psionics kicks in.
With pleasure.
And right now I've only got psionics for healing, but I'm planning on getting mind stab at the next level here.
With pleasure.
Alright, what have we got?
Spotted a wild one.
Many bats. Many bats. There could be a death here. We'll see what happens.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
No? Can't target? Too far? Too bad. Okay.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
There we go.
Volapoo.
There we go. Dead bat.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. Queen.
Okay. And nope, still only
With pleasure.
still only 2 shots.
With pleasure. With pleasure. We did it!
Yeah. Baby steps.
With pleasure. With pleasure. Spotted a wild one.
Okay, they're back there.
With pleasure.
I think they're going the other way.
With pleasure. I see something moving. With pleasure.
Whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops.
With pleasure. With pleasure. Spotted a wild one. Creepoo.
Good, good, good.
With pleasure. Volapoo.
Nice.
We did it.
All right. Almost 2/3, or I guess 3/4. Too bad I couldn't get any of those slimes. I should probably go outside and see what it looks like out there now. I do have a slightly more skill, but
With pleasure.
mostly it's just a question of positioning and where they are.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Okay, nothing coming. I can't use
Let's
any.
grab it.
I can't use any. I guess I can use the powder, but I won't.
Let's grab it. There's something. With pleasure.
But yeah, bishops cannot use bows or crossbows.
With pleasure.
All right.
With pleasure.
Don't want to go too far in. Still at level 1, it's kind of easy to get cornered.
With pleasure.
I have search on too.
With pleasure.
Okay, we're clear. Let's grab the boots and the potion.
There's something.
Not a big difference, but every little bit helps really at this point.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Well, hi.
I see something moving.
2 1s, okay. And I don't want them aggroing the big slime back there. That would be really bad to pull the level 3 slime out of that room at this point.
With pleasure.
Oops, but I need them to at least follow me.
With pleasure.
This way. No? There we go.
Spotted a wild one. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Oh, seriously?
With pleasure. Creepoo. With pleasure. Volapoo.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Oh,
whoa.
that hurt.
No, no, no. Well, it was a matter of time, right?
With pleasure.
Thought we were doing that pretty
With
well, too. The problem was I didn't get the first shot off, like when I was coming out of surprise mode. That was I didn't expect that.
With pleasure. With pleasure. Volapoo. poo. Vola poo.
That's too bad. I will try that again.
With pleasure.
4 damage is just a little too weak for what I'm trying to do here.
With pleasure. With pleasure. Clee-poo.
There we go. That's too bad.
With pleasure.
Yeah, no.
With pleasure.
No. We're defending and we're running.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
That's the kind of matchup I want. Oh, I'm dead.
With pleasure. Damn!
Yeah, it's too bad. I've got to heal up then.
With pleasure.
Oh, shoot.
With pleasure.
I can't even get through. Oh, it's just one bat. It's 2 bats. And I'm stuck. Ick. I am stuck with no mana.
With pleasure. With pleasure. Spotted a wild one.
Okay. Well,
With pleasure.
okay, that one's going the other way. That's good news. But I am going to be in the middle.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. Hey!
Seriously?
Pleasure.
Seriously? I guess bats are pretty fast. That's what I'm dealing with here.
With pleasure. With pleasure. Spotted a wild one. With pleasure.
Shield skill.
Oh, much better. Damn! Damn!
Okay.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Okay.
Spotted a wild one.
Those guys again.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. Volapoo. Volapoo.
Okay.
With pleasure.
Wow. Can't even take 2 hits, huh?
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Damn is right.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure. Volapoo. Creepoo.
So, at least 9 damage there. And he comes right up to me, huh?
With pleasure.
Alright. Guess I'm too close.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Oops.
With pleasure.
I'd love to know exactly which slime was. I think it was that one.
With pleasure. Spotted a wild one.
I've got another blast.
With pleasure.
Well, good news is I'm up to 6 points there. I don't... How many light heals do I have? I'll burn a light heal here.
With pleasure.
Let's see if I can go get him. Even though I've only got 1 shot.
With pleasure.
Got 1 shot and I've got the darts. I might be able to do damage with the staff, but I don't
With
know.
pleasure. With pleasure. I see something moving.
I'm gonna guess it's you, but I don't know. I'm green now.
With pleasure.
Green is really good here.
With pleasure. They're all over me!
What? What was that? Whoops.
With pleasure.
I saw the bats there, but I don't know why I
With
didn't
pleasure.
get my shot off. Oh, I didn't target him? I targeted him. Did I use too much movement?
With pleasure. With pleasure. Volapoo.
Nope. Oh well.
With pleasure.
Maybe it's the other one.
With pleasure.
No. Oh well. Worth a try. Unless I get killed. Yeah.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Having 3 shots is nice, but I just can't stand and take 3 hits, though, or even 2 hits, though.
With pleasure.
So you get some flexibility with the extra shot, but I'm not there yet.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
He's going to come out. Yeah, I didn't do that well.
With With pleasure. Volapoo.
Oops. Caps lock, no.
With pleasure.
Alright.
With pleasure. Creepers. With pleasure.
Okay,
With
nope.
pleasure.
Enough of that.
With pleasure.
Oh, man. Push my luck. Really push my luck.
With pleasure. With pleasure. Creepoo. With pleasure.
Oops, no.
With pleasure.
Should have taken the kill and run.
Volapoo. With pleasure. Creepoo. With pleasure.
Really? Jeez, I thought I was going to do it again.
With pleasure.
That's, like I said, that's the danger of trying to take that third shot.
With pleasure. We did it! Damn!
Shield level 2.
Damn!
Divine Magic 1. So yeah, I mean we've made some progress. We probably need one more kill to get a level up. Got some artifacts, mythology, 2 shield, a little bit of wizardry, a little bit of fire. You see, this is how it's done, right? How are we doing on time? It's almost an hour. Jeez. Let's get the level up, and we'll end it there.
Stay with me. This could get messy.
I should have been more careful.
With pleasure. We did it! Darling,
Whew. Alright, yeah, we need this pretty bad. So, yeah, intelligence and dexterity, which means, let's see, we're going to get 70, which means we'll get power cast at level 12. Alright, we want mind stab. We want a little bit of mental, because we've already got decent psionics here. I think I want the close combat. Maybe some staff. Psionics is going to take off on its own. We'll bump all those. How's that look? I could do more in staff. I could bump Wizardry. Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, I'm still hoping for a mace. Close combat's just as important at this point. Let's go see how we're doing outside. We should be able to finally kill those guys.
With pleasure.
Okay, they are angry now.
With pleasure.
Oh, only got 1 point there. Okay. I've got Mind Stab at orange. Alright, fine.
With pleasure. Spotted a wild one. With pleasure. Clee-poo. With pleasure. Clee-poo. With pleasure. With with pleasure. Hi! With pleasure. With hi!
No, we'll run. Tempting, but no. The slimes should still be out here too. In fact, the slimes look like they're back over that way, which is right where we want to go. We'll go this way.
With pleasure. I see something move. With pleasure.
Oh, I'm gonna have stamina problems here. The crabs will retreat in a second, but the slimes will keep coming.
With pleasure. With pleasure.
Okay.
We did it! With pleasure.
Really? Still red, huh? Well, works.
With pleasure. Spotted a wild one. With pleasure.
Oh.
Stay with me. This could get messy.
This already is messy. Alright, we'll pull them close and then we'll head back up to the corner.
With pleasure. With pleasure. With pleasure.
Okay. Well, that's enough for now. Decent start. Kind of rocky like you'd expect, but we did get to level 2, which opens up a lot more capabilities. So, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.